Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a magical adventure that's sure to captivate your imagination, the enchanting story of a young wizard named Harry Potter. Get ready to follow Harry as he discovers his true heritage, receives a mysterious letter, and begins his journey at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. From the moment he steps into the magical world, Harry's life is filled with spells, mythical creatures, and unforgettable friends. So, grab a cozy seat, maybe a cup of butterbeer if you have it, and join me as we embark on this incredible adventure filled with magic, mystery, and wonder. Ready to experience the magic of Hogwarts? Let's get started! Chapter 1, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, The Boy Who Lived Retelling. On a dark, quiet night in Little Whinging, Surrey, the seemingly ordinary town bustled with the mysterious events happening in the magical world. The Dursley family, particularly Mr. Vernon Dursley, was going about their daily routine without any clue that their lives were about to change forever. Vernon, a large, no-nonsense man, noticed strange occurrences throughout his day. People in odd clothes greeted him excitedly on the streets, whispering about someone named Harry Potter. He also saw a peculiar cat reading a map, which only added to his confusion. Despite his attempts to ignore these unusual signs, the wizarding world was in celebration. Lord Voldemort, a powerful and feared dark wizard, had been defeated, and Harry Potter, a mere infant, had somehow survived the attack that killed his parents, James and Lily Potter. The downfall of Voldemort brought hope and joy to the magical community, which had lived in fear for years. Later that night, as the Dursleys slept, a tall, bearded man wearing long robes appeared on Privet Drive, where the Dursleys lived. This man was Albus Dumbledore, the revered headmaster of Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. Accompanying him was Professor Minerva McGonagall, a stern but kind-hearted witch who had been waiting in her cat form, observing the house all day. McGonagall expressed her concerns about the plan to leave Harry with the Dursleys. She knew the family and worried about how they would treat him. However, Dumbledore insisted it was the best choice for Harry's safety. The magical world was not yet secure, and Harry's fame made him a target. Dumbledore had placed protective spells around Harry, and being with his blood relatives, the Dursleys, would ensure those spells held strong. Suddenly, a loud rumbling noise disturbed the quiet street, and a large motorbike flew into view, driven by a towering, gentle giant named Rubeus Hagrid. Hagrid, who worked at Hogwarts as the keeper of keys and grounds, carefully carried a small bundle in his massive arms, baby Harry. The child was asleep, unaware of the momentous event that had just occurred. His only visible mark was a lightning-shaped scar on his forehead, a symbol of the curse Voldemort had cast, which had failed. With a heavy heart, Dumbledore placed the baby on the Dursleys' doorstep, leaving a letter explaining the situation. He knew Harry would grow up unaware of his magical heritage until he was ready to attend Hogwarts at age 11. McGonagall remained uneasy but trusted Dumbledore's judgment. Hagrid, despite his usual cheerful demeanor, was teary-eyed at the thought of leaving the child. After one last look, they all departed, leaving Harry to sleep peacefully under the stars. The chapter closes with the quiet hope that Harry would be safe, loved, and prepared for the magical world that awaited him. Little did anyone know, this tiny boy was destined for greatness, and his journey had just begun. Chapter 2, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, The Vanishing Glass Retelling. 10 years have passed since the night Harry Potter was left on the Dursleys' doorstep. The story picks up with Harry's life as a young boy, now living with his unpleasant relatives, the Dursleys, in their cluttered house on Privet Drive. Harry's life has been far from ordinary, but not in the way one might hope for. His life with the Dursleys is marked by neglect and mistreatment. Harry, now a scrawny and bespectacled 10-year-old, is living in a cupboard under the stairs. Despite being treated as a second-class citizen, he has grown accustomed to the Dursleys' harsh treatment. His cousin Dudley Dursley, a spoiled and overweight child, often bullies him, and Harry is left to deal with the consequences of Dudley's whims and the Dursleys' disdain. The story takes place during the summer, and Harry is about to celebrate his 11th birthday. His life is a monotonous routine of doing chores, avoiding Dudley's gang, and trying to stay out of trouble. The Dursleys' dislike of Harry is evident in their constant attempts to suppress his individuality and keep him under control. They are particularly annoyed by Harry's untidy appearance and his tendency to be clumsy. On Harry's 11th birthday, Dudley and his friend Piers Polkiss are having a party at the zoo. The Dursleys, in an effort to get rid of Harry for the day, reluctantly take him along. At the zoo, an unusual series of events begins when Harry finds himself inexplicably drawn to a large boa constrictor in one of the enclosures. As he watches the snake, he experiences a strange sense of connection with it. To Harry's amazement, the snake starts communicating with him, and Harry soon realizes he has an unusual ability: he can talk to snakes. The encounter takes a surprising turn when the glass of the snake's enclosure mysteriously vanishes, allowing the snake to escape. The zoo erupts in chaos, and Harry is blamed for the incident. The Dursleys, furious, punish Harry severely when they find out. That night, while Harry is in his cupboard, he overhears his aunt and uncle discussing the incident. They are deeply concerned about the strange things that seem to happen around Harry and grow even more determined to suppress his oddities. They threaten to send him away if anything unusual happens again. Despite the Dursleys' efforts to ignore Harry's true nature, the incident at the zoo hints at a much larger and more mysterious world awaiting him. Harry's unique abilities are starting to surface, but he remains unaware of the significance they hold. The chapter ends with Harry in his cupboard, feeling a mix of confusion and curiosity about the strange events of the day. He senses that there is more to his life than he has been led to believe, but the details remain shrouded in mystery. Chapter 3: Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, The Letters from No One retelling. As the summer drags on, Harry Potter's life with the Dursleys continues in its usual, dreary fashion. Harry's 11th birthday is approaching, and his life remains confined to a cupboard under the stairs, filled with chores and constant bullying from his cousin Dudley and his gang. Little does Harry know, his life is about to change dramatically. One morning, an unusual letter arrives for Harry, addressed simply to Mr. H. Potter and left in the Dursleys' mailbox. The letter is opened by Vernon Dursley, who is incensed to find that it is addressed to Harry. He becomes determined to prevent Harry from reading it and dismisses the letter as a prank. Harry is bewildered by the letter's arrival and the peculiar way it is addressed, but his curiosity is met with hostility from the Dursleys. The next day, more letters begin arriving, each one more urgent and desperate than the last. The Dursleys continue to intercept the letters, but each time they manage to prevent Harry from reading them, the letters become more creative in their attempts to reach him. One letter arrives through the Dursleys' mail slot, another through the chimney, and still more are delivered by hand. The Dursleys become increasingly frantic and decide to take drastic measures to keep the letters away from Harry. They board up the mail slot and eventually leave for a remote house on a rock in the middle of the sea to escape the relentless letters. Despite their efforts, the letters continue to find them. The Dursleys are frantic and fearful, trying desperately to shield Harry from the letters and their implications. On the day they are to leave for the rock, the situation reaches its climax. Harry is bewildered by the extreme measures taken by the Dursleys and is increasingly frustrated by the secrecy surrounding the letters. As they sit in the bleak, isolated house, Harry feels a growing sense of foreboding and curiosity about what these letters could mean. The chapter ends with a tense atmosphere as the Dursleys huddle in the bleak house, hoping against hope that the letters will stop coming. The relentless knocking on the door and the constant anxiety reflect the mounting tension and anticipation for what is to come. Finally, the chapter concludes with a sense of impending change. Harry is on the brink of discovering something significant about himself, though the details remain just out of reach. The letters have hinted at a world beyond the mundane existence he has known, and the stage is set for the dramatic revelation of Harry's true identity. Chapter 4. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, the Keeper of the Keys retelling. The story picks up with the Dursleys, still hiding away from the relentless letters at their isolated hideaway. Despite their best efforts to avoid the letters, their situation takes a dramatic turn on the night of Harry's 11th birthday. As a fierce storm rages outside, Harry is still in the dark about the significance of the letters that have been trying to reach him. He feels a growing sense of unease as the night progresses, but he has no idea that his life is about to change forever. The Dursleys' tension is palpable, and they are more anxious than ever, hoping that the storm will help them avoid the letters. Suddenly, there is a loud, thunderous knock on the door. The Dursleys, already on edge, are startled and fearful. Uncle Vernon cautiously opens the door, but instead of a letter, a massive, burly man appears. This man is Rubeus Hagrid, the keeper of keys and grounds at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. Hagrid is a giant of a man with a beard that nearly reaches his waist. He is both intimidating and kind-hearted, and his presence is both awe-inspiring and reassuring. He is carrying a large, wrapped package, Harry's birthday present. The package, as Hagrid explains, is not a letter but an important part of Harry's new life. Hagrid immediately begins to reveal Harry's true heritage. He informs Harry that he is a wizard and that he has been accepted into Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. Harry is astonished and confused, as this is the first time he has heard anything about being a wizard or attending a magical school. The revelation is overwhelming for him, and he struggles to process the information. The Dursleys, who have been trying to suppress Harry's magical nature, are horrified by Hagrid's visit. They have tried to hide the truth from Harry for years and are desperate to keep him from learning about the wizarding world. Despite their protests and attempts to deny the truth, Hagrid is determined to ensure that Harry receives the information he needs. Hagrid is both patient and firm, explaining that Harry's parents were wizards and that he is famous in the magical world for surviving an attack by the dark wizard Voldemort. The attack had left him with a lightning-shaped scar on his forehead, which Hagrid points out. The revelation about Voldemort and Harry's fame in the magical world is a lot for Harry to take in, and he is overwhelmed by the new information. As Hagrid continues to explain, he reassures Harry that he is not alone and that he has a place in the magical world. He also informs Harry about the magical community, including the School of Hogwarts, where Harry will be going. The chapter ends with Harry feeling a mixture of shock, confusion, and excitement. The ordinary world he has known is crumbling away, and he is on the brink of discovering a new, magical life. Hagrid's visit marks the beginning of a significant change in Harry's life, setting the stage for his adventures at Hogwarts and the discovery of his true identity. The chapter concludes with Harry's life being turned upside down, with the promise of new experiences and a world of magic awaiting him. Chapter 5. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, Diagon Alley retelling. After the dramatic revelation of his wizarding heritage, Harry Potter's life begins to transform in ways he never imagined. The fifth chapter, Diagon Alley, details Harry's first steps into the magical world, guided by the warm-hearted giant, Rubeus Hagrid. Following Hagrid's arrival on the stormy night and the initial shock of learning about his wizarding background, Harry is eager to explore this new world. The chapter begins with Hagrid and Harry heading to London. They travel to the Leaky Cauldron, a hidden pub for witches and wizards, where Harry's introduction to the magical community begins in earnest. As Harry steps into the Leaky Cauldron, he is greeted with astonished looks from the patrons, who recognize him immediately. The magical world is abuzz with news about the boy who lived, and Harry feels both the excitement and the weight of his newfound fame. Hagrid leads Harry through the bustling pub, where magical beings of all kinds gather and exchange stories. They make their way to a brick wall in the back of the pub, which Hagrid taps with his umbrella. To Harry's amazement, the wall shifts and reveals a hidden street, Diagon Alley. This magical shopping district is bustling with activity, filled with shops selling everything a young witch or wizard might need. For Harry, it's a feast for the senses. The air is filled with the sounds of lively chatter, the scent of magical concoctions, and the sight of fantastical goods. Hagrid takes Harry on a tour of Diagon Alley, explaining various shops and their offerings. Harry is fascinated by the vibrant and enchanting environment. They visit Ollivander's, the wand shop, where Harry gets his first glimpse of the wand that will become a crucial part of his magical journey. The wand selection process is a significant moment, and Harry eventually finds a wand that feels perfect for him, one with a phoenix feather core, the twin of Voldemort's wand. They also visit Gringotts, the wizarding bank, which is run by goblins. Harry is amazed by the grandeur of the bank and the secure vaults. Hagrid helps Harry access a vault containing money that was left to him by his parents. The discovery of this wealth is another step toward Harry's realization of his new life and the legacy left by his parents. Shopping for school supplies is another important part of their visit. They stop at Flourish and Blots for textbooks and Madame Malkin's robes for all occasions for school robes. Each shop is unique and filled with magical items that are both fascinating and bewildering to Harry. Throughout the visit, Hagrid provides explanations and background information about the magical world, helping Harry to understand his place in it. The chapter highlights Harry's awe and wonder as he begins to appreciate the complexity and beauty of the wizarding world. By the end of the chapter, Harry is both exhilarated and overwhelmed by the new experiences. Diagon Alley marks the beginning of his immersion into the magical community and foreshadows the adventures that await him at Hogwarts. The chapter closes with Harry's excitement and anticipation for the new chapter of his life that is about to begin. Chapter 6. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, The Journey from Platform 9 3/4 retelling. As the summer draws to a close, Harry Potter's transition from his ordinary life with the Dursleys to his new life as a wizard is almost complete. The sixth chapter, The Journey from Platform 9 3/4, follows Harry's first steps towards his new adventure at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. The chapter begins with the Dursleys taking Harry to King's Cross Station to catch the train to Hogwarts. The atmosphere is tense, as the Dursleys are still uncomfortable with Harry's new world and make it clear they have little interest in his magical education. They drop him off at the station with a sense of relief, eager to rid themselves of the burden of dealing with Harry's magical side. Harry, however, is excited and anxious about his first journey to Hogwarts. At the station, he must find Platform 9 3/4, the magical platform from which the Hogwarts Express departs. This is not an easy task, as Platform 9 3/4 is hidden from the ordinary view of Muggle travelers. Hagrid had briefly explained the way to platform 9 3/4 before leaving Harry at the station. The key to accessing it is to walk briskly and confidently towards the barrier between platforms 9 and 10, without breaking stride. Despite Hagrid's instructions, Harry finds himself struggling with the idea of walking through a solid wall. He watches other students, who seem to disappear into the barrier, and feels a mix of apprehension and determination. After several attempts and with increasing frustration, Harry finally gathers the courage to try the technique. He runs towards the barrier, eyes shut tightly, and miraculously passes through. On the other side, he is greeted by the sight of platform 9 3/4, where the Hogwarts Express is waiting. The platform is alive with students and their families, all preparing for the journey to Hogwarts. Harry is soon joined by other first-year students, including Ron Weasley, a friendly red-haired boy from a large wizarding family. Ron is also new to Hogwarts and is nervous about the journey. The two quickly become friends, bonding over their shared experiences and excitement about starting at the magical school. Ron introduces Harry to the various aspects of the train ride and the magical community on board. They find a compartment on the train and begin to settle in, meeting other students and discussing their anticipation for Hogwarts. Ron tells Harry about his own family and shares some interesting tidbits about life at Hogwarts. This helps Harry feel more at ease as he prepares for his first year at the school. The chapter ends with the Hogwarts Express beginning its journey through the picturesque countryside. As the train chugs along, Harry gazes out the window, feeling a mixture of wonder and anticipation. The journey to Hogwarts symbolizes the beginning of a new chapter in his life, full of promise and adventure. Harry's excitement about starting at Hogwarts is palpable, and the chapter beautifully captures the sense of anticipation and new beginnings. As the train moves further from the Muggle world and deeper into the magical realm, Harry's transition into his new life is almost complete. Chapter 7. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, The Sorting Hat retelling. As the Hogwarts Express approaches its destination, excitement and anticipation fill the air among the new students. The train ride has provided a glimpse into the magical world, but the real adventure is about to begin with the arrival at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. When the train finally arrives at Hogwarts, Harry and his fellow first-years disembark and are met by a fleet of magical boats. These boats take them across the shimmering, moonlit lake that lies in front of the castle. As they approach, the grandeur of Hogwarts becomes clear. Its towering spires, majestic turrets, and glowing windows create an awe-inspiring sight. The castle seems to radiate magic and mystery, making a strong impression on Harry. The first years are then led to the entrance of Hogwarts, where they encounter Professor McGonagall, who directs them into the Great Hall. The Great Hall is a vast, candlelit room with an enchanted ceiling that mirrors the night sky. For long tables are set up, each representing one of the 4 Hogwarts houses: Gryffindor, Slytherin, Ravenclaw, and Hufflepuff. The students are awestruck by the hall's splendor and the warm, welcoming atmosphere. At the front of the hall, an old, tattered hat sits atop a stool. This is the Sorting Hat, which will determine which house each new student will join. The Sorting Hat has been a tradition at Hogwarts for centuries, and it possesses the magical ability to read the minds and hearts of the students to sort them into the house that best suits them. The sorting ceremony begins, and one by one, the first years are called up to place the Sorting Hat on their heads. The hat briefly considers each student's qualities and personality before assigning them to a house. As the names are called out and students are sorted, the atmosphere in the Great Hall is filled with cheers and applause from the students already in their respective houses. When it is Harry's turn, he feels nervous and unsure. The Sorting Hat is placed on his head, and he hears a voice inside his mind. The Hat discusses his options with him, contemplating whether he would be best suited for Gryffindor, known for bravery and courage, or Slytherin, known for ambition and cunning. After a brief internal conversation, the Hat ultimately decides on Gryffindor, and Harry joins the cheering table. Once all the first years have been sorted, the feast begins. The tables are magically filled with an abundance of delicious food, and the students enjoy their first meal at Hogwarts. Harry, Ron, and their new friends are amazed by the variety of magical dishes and the convivial atmosphere. The chapter concludes with Harry feeling a deep sense of belonging and excitement about the adventures that await him at Hogwarts. As he looks around the Great Hall, filled with the laughter and camaraderie of his new housemates, he realizes that he has finally found a place where he fits in and where his magical journey truly begins. Chapter 8. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, the Potions Master retelling. The excitement of the sorting ceremony and the feast gives way to the reality of life at Hogwarts as the school year begins. In the 8th chapter, The Potions Master, Harry Potter and his fellow first-year students start to settle into their new routines and explore their magical education. The chapter begins with Harry, Ron, and Hermione Granger navigating their first few days at Hogwarts. They quickly learn that Hogwarts is not only a place of wonder but also of rigorous academic challenges. The students are introduced to their class schedules and the various subjects they will be studying throughout the year. One of the most intimidating aspects of their new school life is meeting Professor Severus Snape, the Potions Master. Snape is the head of Slytherin House and teaches potions, a subject known for its complexity and precision. Harry's first encounter with Snape is unsettling, as the Potions Master has a stern, unwelcoming demeanor and a reputation for being particularly harsh. The students gather in the potions classroom, which is dimly lit and filled with shelves of mysterious ingredients and ancient brewing equipment. Snape's first class is as daunting as expected. He immediately establishes his authority by scrutinizing the students and emphasizing the importance of precision and attentiveness in potion making. During the lesson, Snape demonstrates his expertise by preparing a potion and gives the students their first assignment, to brew a potion of their own. The lesson is tense, with Snape's critical eye watching every move. Harry feels nervous and uneasy under Snape's gaze, which seems to single him out for particular scrutiny. As the class progresses, Harry becomes increasingly aware of Snape's disdain towards him. The Potions Master's attitude towards Harry is particularly harsh, and it is clear that there is something more personal behind his bitterness. Harry is unsure why Snape seems to have taken such a strong disliking to him, especially since he has barely interacted with the professor. The chapter delves into the growing tension between Harry and Snape, setting the stage for the complicated relationship that will develop over the course of the series. Despite the challenging experience, Harry and his friends manage to complete their potion assignment, though it is clear that potions will be a subject requiring significant effort and focus. The chapter concludes with the students reflecting on their first potions class. While Harry is troubled by Snape's attitude, he is also determined to prove himself and succeed at Hogwarts. The challenges they face in their magical education are just beginning, and the chapter highlights the blend of excitement and difficulty that comes with life at Hogwarts. Chapter 9. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, Midnight Duel retelling. As the first few weeks at Hogwarts pass, Harry Potter and his friends begin to settle into their new routines. The excitement of discovering the magical world is tempered by the challenges of academic life and the complexities of social dynamics within the school. In the 9th chapter, Midnight Duel, the story takes a dramatic turn with an adventurous and risky escapade. The chapter begins with Harry, Ron, and Hermione experiencing the usual hustle and bustle of life at Hogwarts. Despite their initial excitement, they are quickly learning that Hogwarts is not without its dangers and mysteries. Their everyday routine includes navigating their classes, dealing with Slytherin students, and beginning to uncover the secrets of the school. One evening, Harry and his friends receive a challenge from Draco Malfoy, a Slytherin student who has been consistently antagonistic towards them. Malfoy dares Harry to a duel, boasting about his skills and challenging Harry's bravery. The challenge is set for midnight, and Malfoy expects Harry to show up and face him in a duel in the trophy room, a forbidden area of the castle. Though initially tempted to refuse, Harry, Ron, and Hermione decide to accept the challenge, partly out of curiosity and partly to stand up to Malfoy's provocation. They prepare for the midnight meeting, sneaking out of their dormitories and making their way through the dark, quiet corridors of Hogwarts. As they navigate the castle, the sense of excitement and danger builds. They encounter several obstacles, including avoiding Filch, the school's caretaker, who is known for his strict enforcement of school rules and his dislike of students breaking curfew. The group also faces the challenge of avoiding the ghostly presence of nearly headless Nick, who adds to the sense of eerie suspense. When they finally reach the trophy room, they find it empty. The tension of the situation is heightened as they realize they have been lured into a trap. The real danger, however, comes when they accidentally stumble upon a mysterious and forbidden area of the castle, the three-headed dog named Fluffy, who guards a trapdoor leading to the depths of the school's mysteries. The presence of Fluffy surprises and terrifies the group. They narrowly escape the encounter by fleeing from the room and returning to their common rooms, their hearts racing from the adrenaline of their near-disastrous adventure. The encounter with Fluffy reveals that Hogwarts is filled with hidden secrets and dangers, and the students are only beginning to scratch the surface of the mysteries that the school holds. The chapter concludes with Harry, Ron, and Hermione reflecting on their risky adventure. They are relieved to have escaped without harm but are also more determined than ever to uncover the secrets of Hogwarts. The midnight duel and their encounter with Fluffy set the stage for future adventures and discoveries, hinting at the deeper mysteries that await them. Chapter 10. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, the Philosopher's Stone retelling. The excitement and tension at Hogwarts continue to build as Harry Potter and his friends navigate their first year. The 10th chapter, The Philosopher's Stone, reveals significant developments as Harry and his friends dig deeper into the mysteries surrounding their school and its hidden secrets. The chapter begins with the arrival of a special event, the Christmas holidays at Hogwarts. The Great Hall is festively decorated with sparkling lights and a large Christmas tree, creating a warm and joyful atmosphere. The students enjoy a delightful Christmas feast, with Harry and his friends feeling a sense of belonging and contentment in their magical surroundings. As the holidays progress, Harry receives his first Christmas present from his mysterious and kind-hearted guardian, Professor Dumbledore. The gift is a hand-knit sweater from Mrs. Weasley and a box of chocolate frogs from Hagrid, which warms Harry's heart and makes him feel more connected to his new world. During the holidays, Harry, Ron, and Hermione have more time to explore the castle and indulge in their curiosity about its secrets. They continue to piece together the clues related to the mysterious Philosopher's Stone, an ancient and powerful object that has been hinted at throughout their time at Hogwarts. The Philosopher's Stone is said to grant immortality and immense wealth, and its existence is shrouded in secrecy. The trio's investigation is spurred by a series of events, including a conversation overheard between Professor Snape and another professor, as well as strange occurrences in the school. They discover that the Philosopher's Stone is hidden somewhere within Hogwarts, guarded by a series of magical protections and challenges designed to keep it safe from those who might misuse its power. Their quest for answers leads them to uncover more about the legendary stone and its significance. They learn that it was created by the alchemist Nicholas Flamel, a historical figure who was reputed to have lived for centuries due to the stone's powers. The information they gather reveals that the stone is linked to a dark and dangerous threat, adding urgency to their mission. The chapter also introduces a new layer of complexity with the character of Professor Quirrell, the defense against the dark arts teacher. Quirrell's behavior becomes increasingly suspicious, and Harry and his friends suspect that he may be involved in the quest for the Philosopher's Stone. Their suspicions are fueled by his strange manner and peculiar actions. As the chapter draws to a close, Harry, Ron, and Hermione are more determined than ever to uncover the truth about the Philosopher's Stone and protect it from falling into the wrong hands. Their bravery and curiosity drive them to continue their investigation, setting the stage for the challenges and discoveries that lie ahead. The chapter underscores the themes of friendship, bravery, and the pursuit of truth. It highlights the students' growing sense of responsibility and their commitment to defending the magical world from potential threats. Chapter 11. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, The Mirror of Erised retelling. As the school year progresses, the intrigue and excitement at Hogwarts continue to build. In the 11th chapter, The Mirror of Erised, Harry Potter encounters a magical artifact that reveals deep desires and hidden truths. The chapter begins with Harry and his friends returning to their routine after the Christmas holidays. They are continuing their investigation into the mysterious Philosopher's Stone and its significance. Their curiosity and determination to uncover the truth about the stone lead them to explore various parts of the castle. During one of their explorations, Harry stumbles upon an old, dusty room that has been long forgotten. Inside, he discovers an ornate, full-length mirror covered with a dusty sheet. When he uncovers it, he is mesmerized by the mirror's reflection. The mirror is known as the Mirror of Erised. The Mirror of Erised is a magical object that shows the deepest desires of a person's heart. Unlike ordinary mirrors, it does not reflect reality but instead reveals one's innermost dreams and yearnings. When Harry looks into the mirror, he sees his deceased parents standing before him, smiling and reaching out to him. This vision of his family fills Harry with an overwhelming sense of joy and longing. Harry becomes increasingly drawn to the mirror, returning to it night after night to see his parents. Each time he looks into the mirror, he feels a sense of comfort and connection to his family that he has never experienced before. His obsession with the mirror's reflections grows, as it becomes a source of solace in his life at Hogwarts. Hermione and Ron eventually notice Harry's preoccupation with the mirror and become concerned. They learn about the mirror's true nature and the dangers it poses. The mirror does not show reality but rather the desires that can lead to obsession and despair. Hermione explains that the mirror will not help Harry or anyone else achieve their dreams but instead distract and lead them astray. As the chapter progresses, Harry is confronted by Professor Dumbledore, who is aware of the mirror's influence. Dumbledore explains the mirror's power and the reasons why it must be moved to a new location where it cannot cause harm. He offers Harry a poignant lesson about facing reality and finding true fulfillment in one's actions rather than in illusions of the past or unattainable desires. The chapter ends with Harry grappling with the insights he has gained from his encounters with the Mirror of Erised. He begins to understand the importance of living in the present and seeking fulfillment through his own efforts rather than through the mirages of his deepest desires. The mirror, now moved to a hidden location, serves as a reminder of the need to face reality and find meaning in one's own life.
Thanks for watching my video. Please subscribe my channel and press the bell icon.